I don't know why I chose this filter, but okay. I have a message that has been put on my heart to share today. And it is about monitoring spirits, and it is about relationships ending. And I just want to let y'all know that whatever you choose to do in your own life is what you choose to do, contingent on your personal circumstances. And neither I nor anybody else can really tell you exactly what is right for you, regardless of if we are energy readers or what have you. It's really up to each and every single one of us as individuals, knowing the contexts of our own personal stories to make our decisions about how we're going to handle our lives. But I'm just going to share a little bit about my personal experience because I feel really called to do so today. So folks know that I had a really important friendship in my life and earlier this year. And I think that this person willfully bypassed any indication that this relationship was on the rocks, because I think that from the way that they would act sort of guilty about their behavior, which are the exact behaviors that resulted in this relationship ending, it was kind of clear to me that they knew that they were being a really shitty friend, but they thought that I was just going to go on and put up with it because they, quote unquote, had anxiety. There are a lot of reasons why this friendship had to end, and the character assassination that they launched on me after I told them that I didn't feel comfortable being their friend at that time was really enough to cement what I already knew, which is that this person is a covert racist and classist and basically just like colonizer. I've really never called anyone a Karen in my life, but this person is one. But that's not what this video is about. The reality of that situation is I knew that person when I was in high school. And when I moved to New York, I was able to sublimate not seeing them very much because I was really busy in my own life. But when I decided to be more present for the relationships that mattered the most to me, it became evident that this person was not doing the same. Though this person called me their best friend, their person, their sister, they didn't treat me with any kind of respect that those titles necessitate. It was to the point that, like, for the last couple years of our friendship, if I were ever going through anything, I never ever thought, oh, I should hit this person up and talk to them. I never ever thought, like, well, let me reach out to this person and talking to them might make me feel better. None of those things. I went through some of the hardest times in my adult life completely without their support. And when I sat down and created a structures and standards list, a list of bottom lines and top lines for what I consider someone to be a friend and what I consider for someone to be a best friend, they didn't even meet the criteria for a friend, let alone a best friend, let alone a quote unquote sister. The final straw was when I was going through my housing situation at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. Folks know that my second to last housing situation, I found out after 4 months that the person that we had been giving our money to pay our rent had been embezzling it and hadn't paid since I moved in. And so all of us ended up having to leave. One of my roommates even had to move back to Los Angeles and work to pay off his parents, whose credit were potentially going to be destroyed if they didn't pay the $12,000 in rent that was due. Then my last situation, this person was a complete and utter malignant narcissist. I believe that they also had an insidious pill addiction. They were completely abusive towards all of us. We tried to talk to them. We tried to ask them to leave. We tried to get our landlord to ask them to leave. We looked into legal strategies to get them to leave, but it was just impossible. So that resulted in me having to move 1 time, 2 times, 3 times in 1 year, and all I had been looking for was stability. During that time, I never once thought to ask this person for any type of support. The day that I found out that one person had been embezzling our rent, I told them because I had literally just seen them the previous day. But they were like, oh my God, that's so fucked up. And that was the only thing that I heard from them for months. But they continue to like all my posts on Instagram and leave banal comments. And finally, when I had to crowdfund to be able to move, which I didn't even reach my goal, and this put me in tremendous debt. I had to crowdfund to move that final time because I had spent all of my savings having to move. And at that time, I also was paying for my graduation show. Like, as a single working female in this world who is Black and queer, like, having to go through multiple housing crises based off of people being malignant narcissists and psychopaths and literally criminally insane, like, what do you think is going to happen? The only thing that I asked of this person was if they could share my GoFundMe. But mind you, like, they didn't even respond. They didn't even respond to say, damn, V, that's fucked up, or to say, I'm sorry that you're going through this, whatever. And I also told them I didn't want them to donate because I know that, like, they had just spent a lot of their savings. I never heard from them until months and months later. Their boyfriend broke up with them, and then they started obsessively hitting me up, calling me multiple times, like watching all of my videos and commenting on all of my videos, basically just trying to like love bomb me into calling them so that I could be an emotional support to them, when I think it's very evident from what I've been saying that this person was never, ever that to me. And I prayed about it, and it got to the point where I was just like, you know, no, like, I can't be, this is not a friendship. Like, this is toxic, this is codependent, and this is fucked up. And I do think that a lot of this is racialized and class coded. Because this person is white and also upper middle class, and I'm obviously neither of those things, I think that this person thought that because of those things that I should just be at their beck and call, at their whim, whenever they wanted support, because I didn't have anything else to offer, I guess, in a material sense. At that same time, literally only one of my family members came to my graduation show, and none of them, except for my mother, congratulated me on graduating. I have a huge family, and I was raised to think that family was everything. So to me, it just went to show that those people did not consider me as family, which is something that I already knew. I say this all to say that though I am not grateful for traumatic situations, I am really grateful for the clarity that I was able to get. I'm grateful that I was able to end relationships with narcissistic people, end relationships with sociopathic people, end toxic, abusive relationships where I was simply being drained. Those relationships were literally ruining my life. I constantly felt anxiety. I would feel sick to my stomach to be around some of the people that I'm talking about. Graduating is not even the biggest accomplishment, but like the actual installation that I made was fucking phenomenal and a huge deal for me. And to not even hear a congratulations or a good job after people not even bothering to come and see it. So I went into no contact with all of those people because guess what? God revealed to me who you really are. God revealed to me how you really feel. And people may think that I'm the problem here, but guess what? I really don't give a shit because I'm not the one who is causing harm. I now have a tremendous amount of time to spend taking care of myself and fostering relationships with people who actually were there for me and who have been there for me this entire time throughout this entire journey. I really want to encourage you to let go of the watchers, aka the monitoring spirits in your life. because those people are the ones who are energetically draining your prosperity and abundance, and they're the reason why you can't receive the blessings that you're supposed to. This is part 2 of a word on monitoring spirits. So I was talking about a situation where I was experiencing a lot of, I don't want to say drama, but a lot of turmoil at one time coming from really all aspects of my life. And this particular friend that I told the story about in part 1 told me that she had been, I guess, talking shit about me and frankly lying to people about me and about our relationship. And one of the people that I'm pretty sure that she was lying about me to and talking shit with, who were telling her apparently that I was the bad friend and that why is she even friends with me anymore. At one point when I saw them in person, I was really tired, and so my voice was really flat like it is now, and I was like, sorry, I am actually really excited, I'm just super tired. And she's like, oh yeah, I know you. And that hit me really weird because it's like, actually, this is probably one of the, I don't know, maybe like, I think I could count on my one hand how many times that I've seen this person in real life in 10 years. I think I could count on my one hand how many times I've actually had a conversation with this person, like a real conversation, in my entire life on one hand. There's so much stuff about me and about my life that this person has no idea about, but because they have a parasocial relationship where they are a monitoring spirit on my social media for 10 years, they think that they know me. I am a public figure. I am somebody who has been online active as an advocate, as an artist, as a writer for the entire 10 years. Maybe your experience on social media is different than mine, but I'm on social media as a public figure. I'm on social media as business. I'm on social media to use it as a platform to speak on the things that I need to speak on and amplify the things that I need to amplify. Why I say that I think that there's a lot of covert racism that was involved in this situation is because things really started to change in these particular relationships when I developed racial consciousness, and especially when I developed class consciousness, and I would use my platform online to speak about those things. They are integral parts of my art practice. A lot of my art practice is socially informed. I've studied sociology, all that good stuff. That's what I do in my job. I work in social impact. Like, you know what I mean? And these people took everything that I was saying personally, I guess, and decided to treat me or perceive of me differently than they had before when I was not saying these things. And so this is the issue with monitoring spirits. This is the issue with these parasocial relationships. People think that they know about what's going on in your life, or that watching you on social media is enough to, I guess, replace having an actual relationship in real life. Meanwhile, a lot of these people are not actually even liking what you're doing. They're not engaging with it. They're not sharing it, anything like that. They're just watching. They're just watchers. They're monitoring what you're doing. And I'm not going to say 99% of the time, because I don't think that's necessarily true. But usually when it comes to people who are just watching you, the curiosity is, it's not a good type of curiosity. You know what I mean? Those are people who might check your page once in a while because like they want to see how you're doing or whatever. But the people who like watch your shit, do not interact with it, never reach out to tell you, oh, I saw you had this life milestone, congratulations. People who act like they are your friends, act like they are your family, act like they give a shit about you, but they see things happening in your life and they can't even pick up the phone or text you to say, hey, what's up? That's not your friend. That's not your family. That's at best a parasocial relationship. At best, that's an acquaintance. And even then, like, Yeah, an acquaintance, because it's like, oh, I see you in person and I might say, hey, what's up, and talk to you then, but we're not friends. We're not family. And most of the time, those people are watching you because they don't want to pay attention to their own lives, or they're trying to find out information about you and piece things together, piece together the puzzle, whatever way they can. Like I said, I've been online with a purpose. I don't know what the fuck y'all been online doing, trying to convince people that your life is something that it's completely not. But I'm strategic with being online. To me, my online persona is a caricature. It's performance art. It's all performative. Puny thinkers tend to think that they know you based off of your social media, and that's insanity. If you or all the people that you know haven't changed in the past 10 years, that's y'all's problem. But I've been growing, progressing, and evolving over the past 10 years. I went from being a literal child to be, and it's actually been 11 years, to being a full-grown fucking adult. I've lived many, many different lives. You feel me? I got a great education that has completely changed the ways in which I view the world. I got sober, in recovery. Like, I am a completely different person than the person that you knew when I was a child, living in a severely abusive household, living in extreme poverty. Like, excuse the fuck out of me. You don't know me. And I say that all to say that, you know, these monitoring spirits, they have reasons for why they monitor you. Some people just feel like they can't unfollow you or whatever because they have some sort of obligation in their mind. These might be people who are your quote unquote family, or y'all known each other for a long time or whatever. I'm at the point where I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'll unfollow you and I'll also block you, because if we had any type of relationship and you clearly do not give a fuck about me, why the fuck do I have you on my social media anyway? Let's just be real. Unfollow me. Let's just be real. You don't fuck with me in real life, so stop pretending to fuck with me online. My friend passed away recently, and a mutual friend posted about it. And my friend passed away recently, and an old friend who we kind of just like fell off over the years when I was like getting sober and back in school posted about it. I didn't see the post. I didn't know about it until a friend called me and let me know, because I don't spend my entire life on social media. And I saw people who knew both of these people only through me and were my quote unquote friends giving condolences to this person who, once again, they peripherally know at best and know through me, but never once reached out to me, never said anything. Hey, V, you know, I know this was a person that you were super close to who passed away. I'm so sorry. Nothing like that. One of them liked the post that I posted when I found out. Meanwhile, I think I've talked about this in a live on my Instagram page, but like, these people have not been good friends to me for a really long time. Like, have not been good friends. And so you know what I did? I fucking blocked them. And people may say that that's extreme, but why are you willing to have toxic relationships just sitting there festering in your life? Throw it the fuck out. Get rid of it. It's like when you go to the store and you're hungry and you buy a bunch of shit, and then like you're not hungry anymore and you have stuff that like you don't actually really like that, like, you know what I mean? And last time you had it, it made you feel sick. So you don't even really know why you bought it, but you did it because you were super hungry. Actually, this is something that people do when they're high. So are you gonna just let that stuff sit in your refrigerator and go rotten and start to like grow mold and mildew and shit like that? Or are you going to throw it the fuck out or give it to someone who actually wants it? That's the thing about monitoring spirits. That's the thing about these parasocial relationships on social media. If you don't fuck with somebody, don't fuck with them. Just dead the relationship. Stop pretending like you give a shit. Stop doing the fucking bare minimum and thinking that you're doing something, because you're not. And to a real one, to a genuine ass person, honestly, it's disrespectful. Those relationships are the most insidious ones. They fly under the radar, corroding your quality of life and draining your energy that they're not going to fill back up. God does not want that for us. God made our perfect matches for us, and God wants us to go find those people, okay? This is the final part 3 of a word on monitoring spirits. This is the last I'm going to say of it because I don't think that there needs to be so many parts, but apparently I had a lot to say. If you have a lot of people just like, are just watching the shit that you say on social media, the shit that you post, the shit that you do, and they're either empty liking it, which means that they're liking it just to show that they are there, or they're following you but they never like anything that you post, or they're just there watching what you do. You have the sense that you have people who are watching you from fake pages, which is a form of stalking. So this actually gets into the whole gang stalking thing. If you have the sense that this is happening to you, if you have these relationships where it's like y'all just follow each other on Instagram, but y'all don't really fuck with each other, it's hella weird vibes when you're in person with them, this, that, and the third, this is for you. The monitoring spirits, the gang stalking spirits, that shit has got to go. After I ended a bunch of toxic ass relationships and went into no contact with a bunch of toxic ass people, I had to make my page private. And in order to make my page private, I had to go from having a business account on Instagram to having a personal account on Instagram. I have Instagram for me as a public personality, as an artist, as a business person. That's what I have Instagram for. So these people, these relationships were fucking with my money, my career, and my life. Let me tell you something. Every time I have cut off a relationship that has long been unhealthy, my life has gotten tremendously better. My money goes up every single time. And I'm not kidding when I say that my ass gets fatter. I'm going to read this Bible verse. And if you aren't someone who fucks with religion, that's okay. But just take the wisdom from what I'm saying. I am the true vine, and the divine creator is the gardener. They cut off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, they prune, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. It goes on to say to remain in me, and I don't really need to go into all of that, but what I do want to say is, like, your intuition, God is trying to tell you, higher power is trying to tell you, whatever you want to call it, universe is trying to tell you, your intuition is trying to tell you that these people, places, things, these relationships are not for you anymore. But if you continue to go against that wisdom and knowledge that has been revealed to you, and you continue to live a lie, this is exactly why you're not receiving the blessings that are meant for you, because you are being solar plexus activation. You know what tarot readers say about burps. That's a confirmation burp right there. You are being slowly killed by these sick vines. They bear no fruit. So they're not fruitful. They're not prosperous. They are relationships that are a waste of your energy, your resources, your time. And let me tell you something. Those are limited resources. You don't have all the time in the world. You don't have all the energy in the world. You see that you get tired eventually, and you see what happens when you get tired too much. You experience burnout. It's time to prune your life. And many of us have been going through a pruning season. So if you have been getting the sense that certain people are not for you, it's probably because they're not. And I would really recommend to you to just cut them out. Just get rid of them. You're not missing out on anything. You're not losing out on anything, because those branches did not bear fruit to begin with. Going further, let's think about this as living in the truth and living in sovereignty of self and living in unconditional love. I am the vine, you are the branches. So this is about being in the flow of unconditional love and integrity, being in the flow of the universe, okay? If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. Okay? And like I said, you don't have to be religious. You don't have to be Christian to take the wisdom from this, okay? If you're a spiritual person, if you're on a spiritual path, take it how it applies. When we are in the flow, we are in the know, and wisdom is super clear to us. But when we choose to get out of the flow, to get out of alignment and just operate from self-will, shit starts to get real fucked up for us, and life gets way less juicy. That is to say that life, your quality of life goes down. You're not prosperous. You're not abundant, at least not abundant in anything that you really would want. Maybe you're abundant in problems. Maybe you're abundant in conflict. Maybe you're abundant in discomfort. But who wants all of those things? No, you need to be abundant in love. Okay? Love is the ever-flowing fountain. Love is the ever-flowing perfect waters. That's what unconditional love is. That's what we're talking about when we talk about Christ consciousness within the spiritual community. I actually don't really know what everybody else is talking about, but that's my understanding of Christ consciousness is unconditional love and unconditional integrity. For those who know, they know. I'm not going to explain myself to people who don't want to understand me. Why? Because I don't waste my time on dried up branches that don't bear no fruit. When you come into the consciousness of clarity, of crystal clear awareness, there's no way that you can ever go back. However, you can certainly choose to ignore it, and you will be more and more uncomfortable, and your life will get harder and harder. Stop lying to yourself. Stop spiritually bypassing. People who are causing you harm, people who are adding no value to your life, especially if you've been pouring into them and they seem to refuse to pour into you, or you understand your value and you see that they cannot meet you where you're at, those are people that you no longer need to have an active relationship with. And you know something? I think that spiritually we are at the point of no return. You're either in or you're out. You're either on my team or you're not on my team. There's no in between. There's no moderation in this. Either you're for me or you're against me, period. Are you fucking with me or not? And if the answer is no, that's fine. But don't follow me online. Don't interact with me. And even if you see me in person, we don't need to speak to one another. Stop pretending, because wearing a mask, living a fake life, that creates different timelines that your energy is spread across. And if you are exhausted all the time, you don't have any energy, and you don't understand why, because you're getting so much sleep. You know what I mean? You're exercising, you're taking care of yourself. You don't understand why you're so tired and drained all the time. This is why, because you're living a false life. Get in alignment, live in your truth. Don't be a people pleaser. Be in your sovereignty. That's what you were made to do. That's who you were made to be. And it's time to stop acquiescing and self-betraying to make other people comfortable and to make other people happy. Okay, Venus retrograde. Can I get an amen? If they don't love and accept and support you for who you are, as you are, that person is not for you. And they don't have to be. It doesn't matter if that's your family. It doesn't matter if that's your friend for 20 years. It doesn't matter if that's your spouse. It doesn't matter. That person is not for you. And it's time to turn away from those relationships and invest in the blessings in your life. God brought you so many blessings in your life, and you're sitting around focusing, hyper focusing on the relationships that do you harm. Now, what type of sense does that make? To me, that's spitting in God's face. Every day, my mantra is thank you, God. Whether that's thank you for showing me the true intentions of these people, their true thoughts about me, their true feelings for me, or thank you for all the love and compassion and joy and laughter that you have brought into my life. We have free will, so we have a choice whether or not we're going to go with the monitoring spirits, the gang stalkers, the weirdos of the world. We're going to go with God and loving relationships and healthy relationships and grow in those spaces, give those spaces our energy. Unfollow them, remove them as a follower, block that other one there. Stop going to that place that makes you feel like shit. Leave that group chat. And go and do your motherfucking thing, okay? That's what you were born to do. This is who you were born to be. And God don't make trash, boo. We choose to be trash. Don't invest another second in people who choose to be trash. Because then you're going to have a lot of trash in your life. And that ain't cute.